You better be in the house when them street lights come on. Ain't that what your mama used to tell you? But I bet you when she told you to stay out the streets, she had no idea that the YouTube streets would take over the world. Uncle Juice, public figure Boogie, Baby Down So Raw, Detroit Gossip, and the most dangerous voice in Detroit, DawgfaceTV.
Bitch, I talk more shit than Dawgface.
They running shit from coast to coast. Welcome to the danger zone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dawgface Calderon. This is DawgfaceTV Unleashed. Today, I've been on tour. I'm back. You know I'm a rock star. You know I'm a rock star. I'll be moving and grooving and floating throughout the country. I'm back. And I promise you, I'm not going to leave y'all again until next week when part 2 of the cold summer promo tour kicks off. Hey, listen, Dawgface Calderon, Unleashed Reloaded. Shout out to everybody who's been supportive. Before we even get started, before I introduce the panelists, right? One, Underdog. There we have a new addition. She's a permanent addition to the force and power of the YouTube streets. And I'll introduce her when I get through making my self-aggrandizing, braggadocious statements about myself, right? So listen. Shout out to Vlad TV. Shout out to Mav Hoffa. Shout out to the Little Cab Podcast. Shout out to everybody who's been supportive of me in the whole takeover. Hey, listen. Tonight, you're not going to want to miss this show. I need you to like, subscribe, and share. Because tonight is going to be a show unlike any other. Because tonight, I am pulling out the proverbial whooping stick. Right? It's a lot to take in tonight, so I suggest you get here. Tell a friend that Doggy Dog is in the motherfucking building. Thank God. What does it say? You know I come to deal with shit. Y'all know I came to deal with this shit. No, I ain't buying that shit. I'm on academics' ass and Wackesha's ass. Oh, by the way, Wackesha spelled with 1K, not 2, but I get your point. Hey, listen, my Detroit lawyer is in the building. And her name is extremely hard to pronunciate. You know, I only went to the 3rd grade. Don't expect too much from me because you're not going to fucking get it. So we're going to just simply refer to her as my Detroit lawyer. P, what's happening, P?
What up, though?
Oh yeah, yeah. See, I don't know how you made your law school acting like that.
Very easily.
Hey, listen. My Detroit lawyer is in the building. And when I introduce a new player, we call this new player alert. When I introduce a new player to the YouTube streets, I like to give them an opportunity to tell we have a chat. We're live on YouTube, by the way, P. Right? We're live. So I like to give new players an opportunity to tell the people who they are. So can you tell the people who you are, what you are, and what you do?
All right. What up, though, y'all? My name is P. I'm my Detroit lawyer. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Detroit. I've been practicing for a little over 8 years now. I do state and federal criminal defense. I don't really know what else to say. Like, that's just who I am. That's what I do. I don't know. I live on the west side of Detroit.
You're from where?
The west side of Detroit.
What hood you from, P?
Tinkle and Outer Drive.
Oh no, P, you weren't supposed to make the law school. you supposed to make the law. You lucky. You a lucky one.
Straight out the hood, huh?
Yeah, you went, but I don't know how you got. Hey, listen, that is proof that there is a higher power, P. You hear me? Because P, we supposed to be moving the pack. We supposed to be running up down 75, moving that bag, P. That's what we supposed to be doing. Hey,
well,
listen,
I went to law school. Attorney.
Gotcha. Hey, my Detroit lawyer is in the building. We calling her P. Hey, listen, before we even get into on my bullshit, because they know I'm on bullshit. Let's talk about a situation that is near and dear to your heart, P. There's a brother by the name of Michael. He's going through some ups and downs and trials and some tribulations. I mean, we're used to injustice, but in a city like Detroit that is still predominantly black, we expect different from even the prosecutor's office, and we expect different from law enforcement, for the people who patrol and govern and have say-so over us from a jurisprudence point of view. So tell us about your situation.
All right. So Michael Jackson Bolanos was accused of murdering this woman by the name of Samantha Wall. Samantha Wall was a prominent Jewish figure in the city of Detroit. She was a president of the Jewish synagogue, the largest Jewish synagogue in Detroit, called Isaac Agree. After a 5-week trial, we went through a 5-week trial, he was acquitted of her murder, but he was found guilty of lying to the police regarding a larceny from a motor vehicle investigation, which there was never an investigation of larcenies from a motor vehicle. The investigation was always Samantha Wall's murder. The thing about it was, before he was even taken to trial and charged with this, Samantha Wall's ex-boyfriend, whose name is Jeffrey Herbsman, he
Breaking up.
drove to Kalamazoo and he called the police and he said, I think I murdered my girlfriend. I had the motive. I had the opportunity. I was trying to outsmart people. They asked him, what was the motive? He was like, I was mad she broke up with me. They're like, what was the opportunity? He was like, I knew how to get into her house. They're like, why are you trying to outsmart people? He was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He basically was like saying he was having a panic attack at that point. This is just, I mean, there's so much to say in just such a short amount of time. However, this black man was still put on trial for this. And this man, the ex-boyfriend, who's a white man, he was given immunity to testify against Michael Jackson Bolanos at trial. They gave him immunity for his testimony. They never investigated him. They gave him immunity to testify against Michael. Michael was acquitted of the murder. The jury was like, no way, he didn't do this. They acquitted him of the murder, but they found him guilty for lying to the police regarding an investigation of larcenies for motor vehicles because he had been walking around that night and trying to grab on little open door handles of cars and just go into cars or whatever. But he's still in, the judge sentenced him 18 months to 15 years for lying to the police. His recommendation from MDOC was 3 years probation, 6 months tether. The judge said, I don't care about that. She sentenced him 18 months to 15 years. His 18 months has been gone. It's been done and over with. His 18 months ended on June 9th of 2025. We are here today. He's still locked up today because Wayne County prosecutor, MDOC has given him parole twice. They gave him parole on July 1st, and then they gave him parole on July 29th. Wayne County prosecutor's office has stepped in. They've interfered with his parole both times, and now his parole has been suspended, and he's still in prison right now, and he's trying to get out of prison. We are actively trying to get him out of prison. This is insane. This is absolutely crazy.
So I have a question. I have several questions.
Sure.
So her boyfriend, who admitted to all things surrounding her murder, they knew about his admission prior to the trial starting?
Correct. So she was murdered on, she was murdered on October 21st of 2023. He admitted to this on November 7th of 2023. Michael Jackson Bolanos was not arrested until December 10th of 2023. Michael Jackson Bolanos's trial did not begin until June 10th of 2024. So yes, they knew about this man.
So were you his lawyer in the trial?
I was. It was myself and another individual by the name of Brian Brown. He had two attorneys. We both represented him.
So did you guys know about the admission of her boyfriend prior to trial starting?
We did, because it was in the discovery. The discovery packet included the fact that Jeffrey Herbsman had made this admission. It included the police report. It included the body cameras of him actually making the admission. It included the 911 call of him making the admission. It included all of that.
Man, let me see, man.
So prior to the trial starting, this is in Wayne County, of course.
Correct.
Right. So prior to the trial starting, you are telling me that her boyfriend admitted twice, at least twice. Did he call in to make the first admission?
It was only one time. It was only one time, but he called in and made that admission on November 7th of 2023. He drove to Kalamazoo and he called the police and he told them that he feels like he's a danger to himself and he's a danger to others because he believes he murdered his girlfriend. So
was the call recorded?
Yes, we have that recording. Yes.
And you had this.
Correct.
So they didn't try to cover up and conceal it.
No, they couldn't because it was a part of discovery. They gave it to us. But they gave him immunity for testifying. He was given immunity for his testimony at trial against Michael Jackson Bolanos.
Did he know Michael Bolanos prior to this trial? Did he know him?
Trial. Did he know?
Dawgface TV full of fake. I know what it is. It's in the building. You're breaking up, P. So
TV full of fake. I know
can you
what it
hear
is.
me?
It's in the building. You're breaking up, P. So
I can hear you. I can hear you.
There's some feedback.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
there's some
I don't know why
feedback.
you're speaking.
Yeah, there's an
I
echo
don't have
going
anything
on.
to make. I don't know why you're speaking.
Yeah, there's an echo going on.
Hold on. Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me now? Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, that's your underdog. That's your speak.
Underdog, that's your speak.
I fixed it, didn't I?
No, you got some major
No, you got
feedback
some
going
major
on. P, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So, yeah, underdog, you got some feedback coming through somewhere. I'm getting something. So, can you hear me now, underdog?
I hear you.
Okay, I got you. So, listen, I'm gonna mute you up while I'm talking. Then, when you're ready to talk, I'll let you. So did he know? Did the woman who passed away, and did her boyfriend who eventually admitted that he did it? Did they know each other?
Okay, so the woman who passed away, her name was Samantha Wall. Her and her ex-boyfriend. There's a lot of things. So that was her ex-boyfriend at the time she was murdered. They knew each other. Michael Jackson Bolanos didn't know none of these people. He ain't got nothing to do with none of these. He doesn't know these people at all. He just happened to be in the area. Wrong place, wrong time. He don't know these people at all.
So I'm asking you these questions because these are most like, just bear with me. I'm kind of slow, right? So
slow.
You're telling me that he was offered immunity to testify about what took place after they knew that he admitted to the murder.
Correct.
And you're telling me that he was offered immunity to the white Jewish guy we're just going to say white guy. But the white guy was offered immunity to testify against the black guy whom he never saw, never met, never had any contact with. And he was offered immunity to testify against him.
Correct. You're understanding that.
In the words of my 14-year-old daughter, Zanaya, I know you fucking lying. She be cussing a little bit. I be catching her.
I'm not fucking lying. And let me tell you the crazier part about this is there was a neighbor whose name was James Graffune. James Graffune happened to take his dog out to go take a shit at like around the 1:20, 1:30 a.m. on October 21st. Okay. He said that he heard people, he heard a woman screaming, asking like help, whatever. He never checked on it. He didn't think it was his problem, whatever. He takes his dog back inside, whatever. The next day he comes out and he tells the police when the police show up, oh, I heard this screaming. At that time, Michael Jackson Bolanos, at that 1:30, 1:20, 1:30 time, Michael Jackson Bolanos he was way down the street on Jefferson. He was climbing up over Harbor Town. There's a little wall right there.
Mhm.
You scaling that Harbor Town wall because they have him on video doing everything, right? He's scaling that Harbor Town wall. However, around that time, there is a guy that looks suspiciously like the ex-boyfriend who ended up admitting to it on November 7th, who looks like he's running away from the scene around that time, around the time her cell phone last gets used. They never investigated that. There's a guy that looks like crazy from the scene of that crime. Investigated. They still picked up and charged him with this. Michael Wallace is still in prison right now, even though he was murdered.
Hold on, Pete, because your Wi-Fi is tearing this shit up. So listen, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, guys, because you were breaking up. So I want to cover it for the audience because you were breaking up. So at the time of the murder, there was somebody spotted in the area of where the murder occurred who fit the description of her ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
So what's his name again? What's the gentleman name? What was the white guy name?
Jeffrey Herbsman.
Let's call him Jeffrey Dahmer. It's always them fucking Jeffs, ain't it? It's always them fucking psychopathic ass own what's over show on network fucking Hallmark Channel fucking what's the movie? What's the one that had crazy motherfuckers on there?
That fucking Lifetime.
Yeah, Lifetime. It's always it's a Jason. You're not gonna do anything, Jeffrey. I'm warning you, Leisha. You're not gonna do it. I'm not making light of this. So, P, you're telling me that Michael did not know the woman who was murdered, nor did he know Jeffrey, old Jeff.
Correct.
You're telling me that that Jeffrey, he called in a couple of weeks later. How much later did he call in?
It was about 2 weeks later.
So 2 weeks later, before they had any suspect, her boyfriend called the police. Did he call the police or he called somebody else?
No, he called the police. He dialed 911, called the police.
So you're telling me Jeff called Jeff?
Man. Hey, listen, bro. So let me get this part correct before I say what I'm thinking, right? You said that they gave him immunity to testify at Mike's trial against Mike, right?
Correct.
So watch this, right? First of all, I feel sorry for Mike. He's your brother, right?
I mean,
He's actually whatever the fuck he is, right? He's still let her kick back in. But he still is a victim of being railroaded. They actually used Jeffrey Dahmer's testimony to solidify railroading Mike.
Herbsman, but yeah, not Dahmer, but yeah.
Jeff, yeah, Jeffrey ass, right? Jeffrey. So really what it is, it's some Jewish people saying, "Oh, Judge, I know Jeffrey is an asshole and he's unstable and he probably did this, but he is so-and-so's child. He is in so-and-so's family. He's a part of the Jewish community. You can't go down." So they say, "Hey, find a scapegoat." There they go. They grab Mike. Mike don't know nobody. Mike just a petty criminal, basically. Pulling on doors, trying to do a little break-in and find little valuables out of cars or whatever, right? So then they sent him to the joint. And he couldn't even do it 18 months from this bullshit. Because truth at the end of the day, if you beat a murder, we took 18 months all day, right? Okay, we'll take 18 months. I get found guilty of the murder. That was all day. But he couldn't even get out from the 18 months because something or someone keeps blocking him. That's the Jews, and that's that judge. So as a lawyer, I don't know who you need because you're not enough.
I know that I'm not, and we are working on this actively. We have
Yes,
this
you need a
on
team,
so many
baby.
different.
You need a
Listen,
team.
I'm just a trial attorney. Listen, I don't do appellate work. I just do trial work. But I got appellate attorneys on this. Like appellate attorneys, we're doing this. But it's the fact of him, and they know the only reason they're doing this, the only reason they keep trying to keep him in prison, is because they're embarrassed because they know that they lost the trial.
And he can get out and file some litigation from the outside, which will be very detrimental to them. So you really want to keep him in prison because he know his resources is limited in there.
But they're not outside here, and we got him.
Hold on.
Man, that's rough. That's a tight situation.
Let me take my watch off, man, because my wrist sweating. Hold on. Hold on. So let me get this straight, P. So
yeah,
your client Mike was picked up for a homicide. Prior to him being picked up from a homicide, the woman who was murdered, her boyfriend called in 2 weeks after she was killed, and he admitted that he killed her. He described motive and opportunity in this phone call. Is that true?
that is correct. You got it. Bingo.
Hold on. Hold on. And her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend at the time, not only did he call in and admit his participation in her murder, he described motive and opportunity on a recorded phone call. And then the prosecutor rewarded him by giving him immunity from prosecution in exchange for him to testify against Mike, whom he didn't know, had never saw, had no contact with. Are you telling me that's what happened?
Hey, if you don't want to go to jail for the rest of your life, you better help me with this railroad.
That is absolutely 1000% what I'm telling you happened.
Okay, so listen, let me ask you a question. I'm no lawyer, but I did stay at Holiday Inn Express last night.
Okay. Okay.
So when you got discovery,
yeah,
I've been in my fair amount of trouble. I've lived a very troubling life. Okay. Ignore all this balling I'll be doing right now. So are you telling me? So when you got discovery, were you shocked? Did you know about the confession prior to getting discovery?
Not prior. When we got discovery, yes, I knew about it then. I read it there, and I listened to that 911 call. I saw the body camera when the police in Kalamazoo showed up to him and he gave the confession again. Yeah, I saw all of that.
So yeah. he called the police in Detroit and told them.
No, Dawgface. He drove to Kalamazoo. He called 911 in Kalamazoo. Then he told them this over the phone. Kalamazoo police came to him in a parking lot of a hotel, and he said it again on body camera. So I heard it on the 911 call. I read it in the police report. I listened to it on the 911. Then I saw it on the police body camera. I saw all of that.
Hold on, let me get my angle right. So he confessed twice. They have the phone call, the 911 call.
Correct.
And then when the police from Kalamazoo, which is where he was, where he drove to.
Correct. He said it again. So twice, yeah.
The police showed up to where he was in the hotel parking lot, and they have him on body cam saying the same thing that he said and admitting that he.
Correct.
And so my question, these are serious questions. All right, let me take my shoes off because I'm a country motherfucker. Hold on, take my shoes off. This shit. So you telling me? So under what grounds? What was the thought process? So when you got discovery and you saw this in it, were you shocked?
Oh, I was shocked as hell. I said, "What the hell?" I said, "Why are you in prison or why are you in county jail right now? If this motherfucker admitted to this, how are you here?" I was like, "This is the craziest shit I ever saw." I was like, "What?" Then I took the discovery home and I listened to it and I watched it and I came back again. I was like, I don't understand how you're here. I was like, this is the craziest. Why are you here? He said, I don't know why I'm here. I don't even know these people. He was like, I don't know none of these people. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on. I was like,
So P. So listen, I know lawyers, I know there's a process, there's a procedure. I understand that, right? I don't want to present myself as if I'm I've been in enough trouble to be a motherfucking legal I was a paralegal in prison, so I understand, right? I'm not. So I know that there are back channels in the legal system all over the country, state and federal. I know that you probably have some contacts and connections inside the prosecutor's office and in the police department. Did you, once you got discovery, did you reach out to the prosecutor on this case and say, hey?
so as I said, I was co-counsel to Brian Brown. Okay.
Right.
Brian Brown reached out. Brian Brown had a lot of conversations, but here's the thing. This was such a high profile. You understand this, Dawgface. This was internationally live streamed because of who this woman was. Samantha Wall was somebody that, I mean, I never heard of her before, but I don't be in politics like that. But this was internationally live streamed. Brian Brown reached out to the prosecutor, and there was conversations that occurred that he told me about, and I was just in the mix of. But this was never, they were never going to let off of Michael. They were never going to let off of him because they needed a person to come down for this. And the easiest target that they felt was going to be this black man. They just felt they was going to take this black man down, period. That's what they thought they was going to do. Like,
yeah, but hey, P, this is 2023, 24. This is the listen, this type of thing, this sort of thing, according to Officer Tatum.
Yeah. No. That motherfucker, no.
No, I'm saying these type of things in this type of case, these things don't happen.
Oh, they do.
You're telling me that the woman, her name is Samantha Wall.
Correct.
She was killed in October. Was it October 23rd?
October 21st of 2023.
Okay. So Samantha Wall was murdered October 21st, 2023.
Correct.
2 weeks later, November
7th, 2023.
November 7th, 2023, her ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey Herdsman,
Mm-hmm.
he called, he drove to Kalamazoo and he called the 911 and said, hey, I may have killed my ex-girlfriend, Samantha Walls. And they asked him, well, why do you think you may have killed her? And he said, I have motive and I have opportunity. And they asked him, what was the motive and what was the opportunity? And he articulated the motive and opportunity. So then they dispatched the car to go out to the hotel where he was. And he was interviewed again about what he had said in the 911 call. And he repeated it on body cam.
Correct.
And you're telling me that a prosecutor from Kim Worthy's office still chose to prosecute this case. So, so I know you had motions, pre-trial motions, right?
Yes.
Did the prosecutor ever try or ever attempt to suppress the phone calls and the body cam? They never tried to suppress it.
They couldn't. That's not the way suppression works. You can't suppress a third. Like he's not a party to the case. You can't suppress what's coming in. Period. That's a part of discovery. That's a guy who admitted to it. You can't suppress that. Suppression has to be on the defendant or has to be on something like you can't. That's not suppressible. That's not suppressed.
I get you, but see, this is what. So they never tried to cover up the fact that Jeffrey Herdsman called in and admitted. Never tried to cover up the fact that the police arrived at the location and he admitted it again on body cam.
Correct. They didn't. But here's the thing: it would have been very difficult for them to have done that anyways. That would have been an automatic. Had that have happened, that's an automatic Brady violation. That's exculpatory evidence. That's what. Not saying they wouldn't have done it, because at this point, I don't think they're playing fair anyway, so it don't matter. But
I'm asking you these questions because my Detroit lawyers in the building. Underdog. My name is Dawgface Calderon. This is Dawgface TV. This is the What's in the News weekly wrap up section. And who better to start this whole thing off than my Detroit lawyer? We're talking about the case of one Mr. Michael
Jackson Bolanos,
who was put on trial for the murder of one Samantha Wall, who was a prominent figure in the Jewish community, not just in the metropolitan Detroit area, but I'm assuming all over the world. And she was the director or founder, or she was what organization?
She was the president of the Isaac Agree Synagogue in downtown Detroit, which is the largest Jewish synagogue in downtown Detroit.
And so her boyfriend admitted to about 2 weeks after she was found dead, he admitted to doing it.
Correct.
And then he was given immunity to testify against a black guy who he didn't know, who she didn't know, and had no connection to her whatsoever. There was no connectivity at all. Under what ground? Did you question the immunity? Did you question why he was given immunity?
We knew why he was given immunity before trial started, because right before trial started, there was a meeting in the judge's chambers where he was represented by counsel. The prosecutor was there. Myself and Brian Brown were there. And his attorney basically said that Jeffrey Herbsman was going to plead the fifth.
She come back. Jeffrey Herbert was going to plead the fifth.
Hold on, P. You break it up.
Back?
You're back. You're back now. So when you went out, when you said that there was a meeting inside the judge's chambers where you were informed that Jeffrey Herbsman was going to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Take it from
Correct. So his attorney had said that he was going to plead the fifth. So the thing was, we were, as a defense, we were okay with him pleading the fifth, because if he pleads the fifth, we're just going to play his confession, and then the prosecution doesn't get an opportunity to question anything. We get to play that, and then we get to put everything in front of the jury. The prosecutor had a problem with that. The prosecutor got nervous about that, and so the prosecutor said, no. What if we look at an immunity deal? And we, as the defense, don't have an opportunity to interject in that. So that it then became between Herbsman's attorney and the prosecutor, and they worked out an immunity deal where if he took the stand, he was going to get immunity for everything that he said on the stand, which was use immunity. He was going to get use immunity for anything he said, because the prosecutor was like, we need him to testify. We can't just let the defense play his video. That's going to fuck our whole case up. So we can't let that happen. So that's what they did.
What the judge said.
The judge didn't get a say in this because this goes outside. Like, I don't know. I guess the judge could have said a lot of things, but the judge also could have not sent him to prison for lying to the police. So, I mean, what am I don't know. I don't know what these judges be thinking or saying or doing. Really, they're.
Let me ask you a question, my Detroit lawyer. Do you feel that there is, like, what kind of attorney that can help you get to the bottom of this?
It's not going to be an attorney that can help me get to the bottom of this, because at this point, like, we have attorneys that are working on getting him out. And I'm working on trying to do things like this, which is get this awareness. The more public pressure that's put on the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, the more that they will understand that what they are doing is absolutely insane. And they are literally locking up a black man without any sort of call for that at all. What really needs to happen is when he gets out, there's going to be civil attorneys that are going to take care of that. But what really matters is that, there's really no attorney. It's just like, who do we know in the inside that can make those internal changes to make sure that this type of mean, this is disgraceful. This is egregious. This is disgraceful. This is beyond egregious. Like, I don't even understand where we can get to. There needs to be a revolution. I don't think there's one attorney that can turn this over.
You know, and I agree. I agree with you. It's the same thing with the Nolan Wells cover up. You know,
100%.
like the more we see, or the more we push back, the more we see other people come in together to keep it covered. And you know, the Jewish, they ain't shit to me. That's just how I am. But they're a big deal to most people. Like they know how to move mock. Like they know how to have ties with the judge, with polices.
Let me ask you a question. Let me. Sorry about that, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
Has Kim Worthy, who's Wayne County prosecutor, Detroit, for those who don't know, Detroit is centered in Wayne County. Has Kim Worthy come out to make any statement whatsoever about this particular situation?
She made press releases in the very beginning when he was first arrested, right? But when they when they stopped his parole for the second time, which was July 28th, because he was supposed to get out of prison the last time, July 29th. On August 4th, I held a press conference. On August 3rd, she dismissed his case that she used to keep him in prison to get his parole suspended, which I know what I'm talking about might sound very crazy, but there's so much that it would take me forever to explain all of that. But on the day of my press conference, on the morning of August 4th, she released a press release to the media where she fully lied. She fully lied to the media and was like, Michael Jackson Bolanos is going out on August 26th. And I didn't know, or well, her office, I guess, said it. So her office was like, Kim Worthy didn't know that this 2020 case was put on him. And if she would have known, she would have never signed off on it. And she would have never allowed this. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Their office this is one of the most high profile cases to come through their office in years. The amount of resources that have been spent on prosecuting this man after who we know admitted to this. Okay. They still expended ultimate resources to prosecute this, for them to turn around and say that they didn't know they were suspending parole. They didn't know that they were keeping him in. Or Kim Worthy didn't know. If she would have known, she would have let him out, blah, blah, blah. And then for them to say he's getting out on August 26th, no, he's not. No, he's not. Because what they did effectually suspended his parole. A suspension of parole, as I'm sure you know, Dawgface, I'm sure you know, because you said that you've been in a suspended parole means that's indefinite. Okay. So there is no coming up off of that. And her office did that knowing what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
So what do you mean? Like he'll never get a chance to have a parole, or that parole that he got was taken and he's back, got to see the parole board again?
So he had to see, so that August 26th date was supposed to be the parole interview date. They knew that, but her office utilized that as the opportunity to tell the public he's getting out on this date. No, he's not. Y'all knew that was his interview date. However, his interview date actually already happened. It happened yesterday. He was interviewed yesterday. And the parole board, they were like, your parole is indefinitely suspended because Wayne County Prosecutor's Office has interfered and they've filed all these motions and done all these things that until we settle all of this and figure out what's going on, we can't release you from prison. But we back you getting out of prison because we've granted you parole twice. We want you to get out of here, but we can't.
So wait till you come back.
She can hear.
I'm back.
If she can hear us, go ahead.
So truthfully, I don't believe that the parole board is supporting him as they say. Even though you're right, they probably is getting him a parole, right? But the parole board knows that this is just a safe face for them. You know what I mean? This is just a safe face for the parole board, so that it don't look like the parole board is his opposition, right? Like, we're doing our part, we're doing our part, but the parole board really can't do other than what whoever is really in charge tell them to do. But I'll tell you this though, right? I went through something similar like this. I did 15 years, 9 months, right? And I tried to get out, flop after flop after flop. So let me ask you a question. Them denying him or taking his parole, if this is considered a continuance, and if it's a continuance, is it a 12-month continuance? Is it a 24-month continuance? When I watch this, he'll never have a parole board hearing again, is what you're saying.
No, he had one yesterday.
No, he had one yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch this, right? And I know that your ultimate goal is just to get him out of there at this point. Like, I know this is it's a big old scheme behind the scenes that I cannot get to the bottom of. I just want to get you out of here, right? And I'm gonna tell you this is a cheat code right here, right? He has to parole out of Michigan. Put his place. They're gonna ask you like, hey, if we give you parole, what would your placement be? He has to have out of date placement. I guarantee you that it.
I just want to ask you because I don't know, but why would that be the difference?
Because they will feel like as long as he's not in the backyard, he cannot start no trouble. That's how they're gonna feel.
Now, first, go. I'm listening, but that don't have a brother. So I get your point. Your point is if he's not in their backyard, it is safe for them. It's never going to be safe for him because this case has been so high profile, and he's going to fucking sue them. So it don't, right? It don't matter if he.
Do you know how many people they get out with big issues like this, and then freedom let them say, "Fuck this shit, man. Stay free."
But hold on. But this is the part.
That's a great influence.
Hold on. But this is the part I may not have explained to you. This is also important. Wayne County Prosecutor's Office is actively trying to retry him. That they're in the Michigan Supreme Court right now. They're trying to move it up to the U.S. Supreme Court. They want to retry him. They want to overturn double jeopardy and retry this man. So
murder.
Yes.
Yeah, like they're not going to let this go.
Now
like
this, right?
Crazy. Like everything they're doing is absolutely insane.
And what that will do, if they can lock him up for the rest of his life, then we don't have to be worried about him coming up to the parole board from this little 18-month sentence. Let's just bury him, which is what they should have did in the first place. If they're gonna railroad him right, but they ain't railroading him right.
Hold on. But they couldn't railroad him right based on the way the charge came out, based on the way the conviction came out. Right?
Yeah, the body cam and everything else. I think they never supposed to went to a trial. It was never supposed to.
I agree with that. But I'm simply talking about the way the conviction came out, right?
No, so let me interject. Hey, listen.
Go ahead.
He was placed on trial after her ex-boyfriend admitted twice to doing it. Her ex-boyfriend was given immunity to testify against somebody who he didn't know. He had no material information to give about this person's guilt in any way. How in the fuck are you giving immunity to testify about somebody that you don't know? And what the fuck is what you be testifying to? In order to get immunity, you have to give us some information that we're going to use to nail this guy. You don't have no information because you don't even know him. There's nothing. What did he do? How did you justify giving him immunity? This shit is not normal. This level of corruption, brother. He was given immunity to testify about some shit that he had admitted to doing against somebody who he didn't know. What qualified you? One, you admitted it. That's one. That's number one. You admitted to doing it twice. Number two, the person who's on trial for doing it, you don't know. So under what grounds can you grant this guy an immunity deal to testify against Michael when you don't even know Michael and you can't give us any material information on factual basis to help us establish a guilty verdict? How did you get an immunity deal?
Period. Great question.
That's the point. The point is, under this one, they don't give immunity deals except to straight up stone cold Nick. I know who shot him. I know who did it. Here he is. Here's the smoking gun. Here's what he used. Bing, 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 bing. I want to know from the Wayne County prosecutor side of things. What did he tell you after you interviewed him? After listening to his admission twice, the phone call and then the body cam footage interview from the Kalamazoo, what did Jeffrey Herdsman tell you that convinced you to give him use immunity, which means that's like some little woozy shit in the YSL case. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, and then now she's telling us, Underdog, that somebody in the Wayne County prosecutor office is they're making a play to prosecute this guy again with the same set of circumstances that existed the first time.
Yes.
Because they know this can be a big problem.
It is a big problem. And so do you have any proof that they are seeking to retry this gentleman again?
Oh yeah, you can literally look it up. It's everywhere. We went to Court of Appeals already. Like it's everywhere. Like their intention, in Court of Appeals, like they are attempted. Court of Appeals denied them. They have already moved it to Michigan Supreme Court. They have written their intent to move it to the U.S. Supreme Court because they know that Michigan Supreme Court will deny them. U.S. v. Yeager exists. That is double jeopardy. They know that they are bound by double jeopardy, but they are attempting to get like writ of certiorari in U.S. Supreme Court to retry him in U.S. Like they're not going to get any of this. This is crazy. They are fixated on getting the wrong man when the right man admitted to the murder. They are fixated on this man.
They have 3 times to have their appeal denied before they can no longer do it, correct?
Well, I'm not an appellate attorney.
No, that's the defense side of things.
Okay.
It's just the prosecutor side of things.
Right.
So listen. So under what grounds did it went to the Michigan Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals? I got you.
Under what Court of Appeals denied them? They said no.
Under what grounds did the Court of Appeals deny their motion?
Okay, so here's the thing. He was charged with first-degree murder with an underlying second-degree murder. He was charged with home invasion with attached felony murder and charged with lying to the police about an investigation of larcenies in motor vehicles. Blah. We know he was convicted of that. Okay.
Hold on. Quick. What does the larceny from car? What does that got to do with murder?
It ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Was he on trial? Was he on trial for that too?
Yes, he was on trial for all 4 of these charges.
He was on trial for all 4 of these charges. Mr. Todd Perkins, the wonderful, the stupendous, the king of the hill.
What's going on?
Hey, Todd.
Hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you in ages.
I know. I've just been over here thugging in the trenches.
You have. I mean, I see you on social media, though, doing your thing, though.
Yeah, we were just, I was just explaining to them the charges, Bolanos' charges.
Whose charges?
Michael Jackson Bolanos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
that's so what did they do? Did they back off and let him out? Did they let him out on parole?
now you know they won't do that. You know her office won't do that. You know they not that kind. You know they're
no. It's not her office though. You know the Department of Corrections shouldn't be listening to what the office says.
No.
Right. They got full discretion.
No, Department of Corrections has granted his parole twice. They have to stay because of what their office is doing. Wayne County Prosecutor's Office keeps interfering. MDOC has tried to release him twice already. Trust me. And everything that her office is doing is very shady, is very underhanded. They keep throwing their rocks and hiding their hand. But it's okay. I'm gonna keep calling them out.
But in that case, the only person who has ever said that they did it was the witness that they used.
I know the guy that gave immunity to, right?
I mean, not only they gave him transactional immunity, they gave him blanket immunity.
So he's the guy that I guess he's gonna walk away.
Yeah, I mean, because I've always believed in that cause. Y'all really did your thing in that case.
I have other questions.
Oh,
And now that
sorry.
Mr. Perkins, as much as you can, and as much as you can, I have questions. So as much as you can, as much as you feel comfortable with,
Right.
so under what circumstances does Samantha Wall's ex-boyfriend call the tip line and admit to the murder?
He didn't call tip line.
Who he
He
called?
called 911 himself. He just dialed 911.
Kalamazoo.
Okay, so he called 911. He admitted to the murder, and then they dispatched the police car to go out to where he was in the parking lot of a hotel in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And in the body cam, he admitted to the motive, and he admitted to having the opportunity to have done so. Under what? And they have two different recordings of this: the body cam video and the audio of him calling the 911. Under what circumstances does the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office justify giving this guy immunity to testify against someone that he has previously admitted to doing? I'm confused.
I mean, to me, it's always been kind of a crazy case. I wasn't really as involved in it. I was I'm watching it from afar. I remember I was in court in Ohio, almost near Cincinnati, and I was on my way back. My son just started driving. The reason why I remember this, it's like a Kennedy moment where, when our parents used to say, "Where were you when Kennedy got shot?" I was listening on the radio when the verdict came through. So I just remember that day. But leading up to that, I was kind of flabbergasted on how that prosecution took place, because the prosecutor himself, who's now working for the DOJ, I mean, I think he's a very talented prosecutor, but I mean, the jury just didn't buy it. I mean, the guy is a thief, a liar, perhaps. I just didn't see this guy as a killer. He's walking around, to me, I'm talking about the defendant, but the guy, they just bought his story. I mean, he said he was having some episodic event, and that's what caused him to do that. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether or not things were done by the prosecution's office. And you guys might know this more. Did he have a polygraph or something like that, to support the fact that he might not have done it? I don't know.
So
and you would know that better.
Let me catch everybody up to speed. So we have a gentleman by the name of Michael
Jackson Bolanos.
Michael Jackson Bolanos. Michael Jackson Bolanos. Bolanos. Michael Jackson Bolanos, a Detroiter. He's put on trial for the murder of a Samantha Wall, who's a prominent Jewish figure. She was the president of an organization called
the Isaac Agree Synagogue in downtown Detroit.
Okay. So after her murder, approximately 2 weeks later, her boyfriend, Jeffrey Herdsman, he traveled to Kalamazoo, in which he called 911. In the 911 phone call, he admitted to killing Samantha Wall. They dispatched a police car to go out to see him. He was in a hotel parking lot in Kalamazoo. The police, when they were interviewing him about what was said on the 911 call, they had it on body cam. So they have the 911 call where he admitted it, and they have the body cam video of him admitting it. This person, Jeffrey Herdsman, was granted immunity, the highest form of immunity. Like, you can get on the stand and say, "I did it, fuck you." He was granted the highest form of immunity after admitting to Sarah Wall's murder. Samantha Wall, excuse me. And the Wayne County Prosecutor Office granted him immunity to testify against Michael Jackson Bolanos, a person who he had never met. He didn't have any material information to offer that would have made him a qualified witness of any kind. He don't even know Mike.
Correct.
Now y'all gonna have to tell me some. You two legal minds.
I'm, you know, this is one time you got me as a lawyer, and I'm speechless. I just am. I don't, you know, if I was charging by the word tonight, I'd be broke.
As
So
would I.
y'all see how I'm rocking my chair? This is called the ghetto. Grew up on oatmeal rock. This is a rock of a child who grew up in an urban environment who was eating served sandwiches. This is the rock of a hunger pain rock. What's it called? She just rock.
I just, you know, and Perna knows a lot more about the case than I do, but I just, you know, from the outside looking in, I just go back to the only person that's ever admitted having some involvement in this is the guy that they ultimately gave like transactional immunity. I mean, it's not even use immunity. It's transactional.
No, it was use immunity. It was use immunity. I misspoke the other day when I said transactional. It was use immunity. But Todd, what about the fact that the guy running away from the scene around that 1:30 time? Why does that look just like him though? Just like the dude who went and admitted to it in Kalamazoo. Why do those two figures look exactly the same?
And you know, he to a certain extent, see, I haven't seen the body camera, right? And you all have seen all that, but I remember the 911 call where he's like, I think I might have done this or something like that. You know, grief stricken. The grief was real.
It was guilt-stricken.
You know, guilt-ridden, grief, guilt. You know, emotional. So I don't know. I mean, you know, it's easy to paint it. You know, my thing is, if I were the family, listen, if I were the family, I couldn't live with, you know, this guy, this black guy, broken houses. And yeah, he may be all these things, you know, no one likes a thief, but you know, I wouldn't want to be, I don't know how they could be settled with the possibility of the real killer not being brought to justice. You know, that's my thing. And I think that they're consoled, or they believe that Jackson Bolanos is the actual killer. I think the family does.
That's very sad of them to think that after a 5.5-week trial, when they sat there and watched all the evidence. That's very sad to me that because they're a family of very intelligent people. They are doctors. They're very astute individuals. You guys watched all of this evidence be put up, and y'all still came to the conclusion that this man did it after this guy admitted to it. He looks like he's running away from the scene. There's no DNA evidence of Jackson being like, I could go into it forever, but yes,
Did Mr. Go ahead, Underdog.
Under what circumstances can an admission of guilt be used to testify on someone else like that? That's the part I'm not getting. I don't know how I can kill somebody and I can say, hey, I killed somebody, but then they let me testify on somebody else. Can somebody else even be a person of interest when I've admitted it?
Well, because if he's going to you,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Todd.
No, I want to hear what you said. I love hearing you.
Well, they didn't investigate him, right? They allowed him to say that, and then they said they did an investigation of him, but they did not. He said he had a knife underneath the seat of his car when he made this admission. They confiscated the knife. They took the knife in for forensics testing. They extracted hairs from the knife. They never tested the hairs from the knife, okay? They raided his home. They didn't find anything of any sort of interest in his home. They didn't find out what clothes he wore that night. They didn't go to the synagogue that he said he was at to try to get the clothes that he was wearing that night. They didn't try to extract video footage of the synagogue that he was at. They extracted all the video footage of where Bolanos was every minute of every second. They didn't try to do that for Herbsman. Herbsman was on a bike. They took a photograph of Herbsman's garage where a bike was there. Later on, they admitted to the fact that Herbsman ended up selling the bike a week later. They never did any forensics testing on that bike because they said they did flat camera testing. And his his license plate wasn't in the area. He was an avid bike rider. If you're going to commit a murder, you're probably going to leave your phone at home. You're probably not going to drive your car to go do it. He lives within biking distance of her house. He drove it. He probably rode his bike to her crib, probably murdered her there, which is why he's running off of camera. I believe that's him running off of camera there. But why did no one care about the fact that he sold his bike literally a week after the murder? The OIC admitted to the fact that that happened, but no one looked into that. Like, there's so many things about this guy had a bonfire the couple days after her murder, which we just got news of. He probably burned up all his clothes and everything. Why didn't anyone try to? Why didn't the synagogue get the cameras? Y'all got the cameras for everything he did. Go to the synagogue and get the camera footage of this dude. No one tried to do that. There was never an investigation that happened of this guy. They just took his word for it. They're like, oh, you're tripping on weed and your little pills? Cool. All right, bro. Have fun. You were tripping. You didn't kill her.
I got the answer. I don't know why y'all haven't seen this. This is for you. Take this back to your team. So you know things about the case, and you're telling me things about the case I didn't know. So
I have answered to
start a lawsuit against the Department of Corrections, or whomever is holding him. Start a lawsuit, initiate the lawsuit, get a discovery order, and order a DNA testing of the hairs on the knife, because that didn't go away. They couldn't destroy that. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean,
hey Todd, are you interested in doing this?
I wouldn't mind doing it at all.
Todd, you down?
I wouldn't mind doing that at all, because look, if they didn't test those hairs, you understand? If they didn't test the hairs, then definitively, if you tested those hairs and they came back, I mean, look, at this point, now here's the reality. The reality is they probably couldn't even convict him at this point. You understand what I'm saying? Because but you would get Jackson Bolanos released. You understand what I'm saying? You would get him released. I mean, he is guilty of what he was convicted of. He was guilty of what he's convicted of. With CTA or CIA? CIA.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
This Jeffrey Herbsman, what does he do for a living?
I don't know.
He was a data analyst for Stryker, and he's still a data analyst. Like, he's he's got a PhD in data analysis or whatever. But at the time of the trial, he was a data analyst for Stryker in Kalamazoo, which is why he drove to Kalamazoo that night.
What is Stryker?
Stryker, I don't actually know what Stryker is. Stryker, I want to say it's like a pharmaceutical company. It may not be, but Stryker is some big like facility in Kalamazoo. It's one of their major industries, like one of their major factory type of industries in Kalamazoo. I don't exactly know what they do. 100% I don't.
I mean, I just thought it was a medical device manufacturer.
There you go. So medical something, but he's a data analyst for Stryker, or was one time.
Jeffrey Herbsman. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
I'm a student of history. I'm a COINTELPRO. I'm from that era, like for real. Black Liberation Army, Panther Party, SNCC, the NAACP.
Give me the conspiracy.
Jeffrey Herbsman. He is no ordinary citizen. There's no way that the Wayne County Prosecutor Office would put themselves on the line. Man, Kim Worthy's been under a lot of scrutiny, and Kim Worthy has been cavalier. I'm going to use the word cavalier, right? She's been cavalier in some situations, and she's been a bit aloof in others. But there is no way that I don't see it. This is beyond her control. There is no way Kim Worthy would sign, even though she had to have done it. There is no way of her own free will. I don't, you can't convince me that this isn't one of the most troublesome things that she has had sleepless nights about this. And I believe that she's a stone cold person, but there's no way that Kim Worthy would have on free will signed up. Come on.
May I say why I don't like? Okay, if she had sleepless nights about it, it must have been throughout the trial. But for you to have continuous sleepless nights about it when you are proactively interfering with his ability to parole does not make me feel like you are having.
No, but what you're missing, Perna, what you're missing is that he's saying that there's influence behind those shadows that are pressing Worthy to do this. That's what he's saying. And you know something? I'm telling you, it takes some real conspiracy thoughts.
Let me say that before you go. Hey, Perna, I'm not joking. Your life may be in danger.
Man, I thought that, brother. I thought that.
Because you're not allowing this thing to go away. You're a vocal.
Allow this to go away.
No. This is not normal. This is not the normal Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy. We got some stupid ass DPD, respectfully investigators who have been bumbling and stumbling the evidence. This ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
In Detroit, you have the CSI because it happened in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Or did it happen in Wayne County?
This happened in Detroit, but also Wayne County.
Okay, so this is not the normal Laurel and Hardy Three Stooges act from the DPD, right? They presented all the evidence. The Kalamazoo Police Department presented all the evidence. For you to give this person immunity to testify against somebody who he did not know, that is not normal. And listen, Kim Worthy is a bad motherfucker, but Kim Worthy is not even this brazenly conflicting. This shit, and now the same prosecutor is at the DOJ. Perna.
I have information about that too. That for later.
Jeffrey Hertzman has ties to something beyond Stryker, which is a pharmaceutical company in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Jeffrey Hertzman is no regular analyst. He is no regular PhD grad whose specialty is as simple data analysis for Stryker. That is a cover. Perna, what else do we need to know about this, Perna?
Here's what's real insidious, though. Here's what's real. You know, if people believe that there's someone else, and there's the distinct possibility that there's someone else who did it, whether it's this guy Jeffrey Hertzman, or it clearly, after all the efforts, after all the resources, and clearly there were great lawyers that he had for the defense. It really was. But let's just assume, I mean, they weren't, the lawyers, as good as they were, he was still convicted of being in that house. Understanding being in that house, they still didn't convict
being in that house.
They still
Being in what house?
He wasn't being in the house. He was convicted of lying to the police regarding the larcenies from motor vehicles. No.
I still believe that the jury believed that he stole something, or that he was, I still believe that they thought, I know he was only convicted of that charge, right? But at the same time, they believe he was around there, and they still didn't convict him of that because they believe, I think that there was a detriment to their case to give that guy immunity, to have him testify. It would have been so much easier. Obviously you all would have called him anyway if they hadn't given him immunity, and then he would have taken the fifth, but then you wouldn't be able to call him if you knew he was going to take the fifth. It would have been a much better case had he not testified and done anything at all. Because when it comes up that he has said, I made this 911 call. I mean, that is. She's frozen.
I got you. She can hear us, but she's frozen. Her Wi-Fi has some complications. Mr. Perkins, Taj Russell Perkins is in the building. Mr. Perkins, had this been your case, and I'm not. So it was in discovery, the 911 call, and the police body cam. Mr. Perkins, what would have been your reaction upon receipt of discovery, and you found out that there's a 911 call and there's body cam footage of the woman's ex-boyfriend basically admitting to committing the crime?
Well, here's another thing, though. This is the problem with having a person who's indigent. He doesn't have the ability to market his case. He doesn't have the ability to go to the media through media professionals. I mean, this is a case that could easily, with the right kind of money, that you could market your case, but yet I still commend the lawyers, the defense lawyers. They stayed at it. And, you were in hostile territory. I mean, I don't think they won any motions on this case.
Listen.
They didn't win any. I mean, they did it without.
That was hard. We were in the trenches, man. We were in the trenches.
Yes.
So listen.
I didn't realize it was 5 weeks, though.
It was 5 weeks of trial.
Okay, so listen. So correct me if I'm wrong. Underdog, I want you to take over after this. So what is summary judgment? Is summary judgment asking the judge to look at the elements of this case and to make a determination that, hey, judge, this shit doesn't meet the standard? Is that what summary judgment?
That's a civil case. Like in a civil case, you file summary judgment saying that you don't have enough evidence. You don't have either way. In a civil case, a plaintiff can file for summary judgment or a defendant, and they can say that the evidence, if from the defense side, they're saying that the plaintiff, throughout all the discovery and all the efforts, the depositions, there's still not enough presented to present this case to go forward to trial. Then a plaintiff could file in a civil case, in a lawsuit type of case. A plaintiff could say the evidence is overwhelming, kind of like when you sue somebody who's pled guilty and you sue them for that. You're going to win a motion for summary. In criminal cases, it's called a motion to quash. So in this case, they had a preliminary examination. They held that preliminary examination, and it's a thing called probable cause. And if there's probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed and it's probable this individual did it, then it gets bound over, and it won't get overturned unless there was some dysfunction or breach by that judge in the district court judge and the decision making. They won't overturn it just because of the way they feel. But in this case, I mean, the police are saying they did it. It got bound over. Yet you've got this 911 call, and it's still that no judge in the state was going to dismiss this case. They were not. And see, let me say something about this. This is what the power of a jury tells you. When all things are against you, and everybody is against you, you still got that 12 in the box, or 14 ultimately reduced to 12 in the box to save you. That's the power. As bad, like we talk about our justice system, it has its faults and it has its frailties, but that right there is the key. Because if you didn't have a jury, that guy would be doing life. Absolutely.
And let me tell you something. Despite the fact that was not a jury of his fucking peers, that jury did their job. I stand on that 10 toes down till the day I die. I don't care they found him guilty of that little line to the police about larcenies of motor vehicles. Whatever. That's some bullshit. We're dealing with that.
So was he on trial for larceny for motor vehicles too?
He had a couple of charges. Yeah.
So was the larceny from a motor vehicle her car?
No, it was the dumbest fucking charge, because the way that it's written in the information, it says, he's lying to peace officers regarding an investigation of larcenies from a motor vehicle. There was never an investigation of larcenies from a motor vehicle. The entire investigation was the murder of Samantha Wall. The way that they brought him in was they first were talking to him about some glasses, Then they were showing him some pictures about himself going to some cars. It was some bullshit. But whatever. The jury fucking got him on that shit. They shouldn't have. But they did. But they didn't get him on the big shit. And they got that right. At least they got that right.
Underdog.
Man, for real, this is some sad stuff. But it's really for real. It's a classic. It's a classic case of how the judicial system and white people stick together when it's time to come against a nigga. It's a sad thing, right? Because like this is going to happen. This is going to continue to happen. This is just it's a pattern. But like you said, it most important because I was trying to get to the bottom of like why the fuck are they covering this up like this? Like how can you cover up something that's so like blatant like this, right? And you're right. That motherfucking Jeffrey, man, he is so important to somebody, bro. To some to and I was thinking like like he's important to the fucking Jews. Like I can see them if they got that level of influence on the Department of Corrections. Department of Corrections, the police, the judges. Sometimes they had their hands in it so deep to where they don't care if so and so catch a case, we get him off of it. They know that they have that power to do so. You know what I mean? But like, I'm trying to figure out like who's the important person? Like, why is this person able to admit a murder and still cover it up? And he's very important to somebody, bro. He is very important to somebody.
No, I think what it is that, the Black community is really the only community that doesn't have solidarity and power. Like that's a real presence of power. I mean, everybody, but they use us. They take from us, and they use our votes, our presence, our some might even say our style, all kinds of things that they take from the Black community. But we're not unified enough, and we're not, we don't hold it, in any form of solidarity on a grander level. And yet, you think about it. Look how powerful the Jewish community is. Yet there's 16 million Jews in the entire world. 16 million, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. But but yet sticking together. And even in something like this, because I guarantee you, there's some people in the Jewish community probably do feel he did it, but they're not going to speak up because they're unified. Many of them are unified. I imagine you're going to have some outliers.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, they don't matter when the juggernaut of the power base is moving to stop. I think that's the force behind. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office making sure that they don't allow Jackson Bolanos to get out. It happens in the Arabic community. And on some scales, it does happen in our community, but it doesn't happen as often as it used to. And there's we could talk about the whole socioeconomic dynamic and the deterioration that's happened with the Black family over the past 60, 70 years. But, and how that might have been how that was by design.
The new Jim Crow, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I got
Michelle
one question for you,
Alexander.
bro. Before we change the subject, bro, I got one question for you, right? So being that we as Black people, we don't have no kind of united front, right? And pretty much almost every other race of people do. And we consider any race of people that's united when compared to a not united race such as Black people, when we consider them like the powers that be over them, like over us, like anybody that's united can be a power that be over us.
Well, I just think I look at it like this. Did you ever watch NFL films with Nick? I think Sobel used to do it. He talk about these great games, and I always think about. You remember how big? What's the guy, the running back from Houston, Earl Campbell? Earl Campbell's running into the end zone. He's 240, 230, 240, and Jack Tatum's 175 pounds. But yet Jack Tatum uses all his heart, all of his weight, and all of his sinew to have that massive collision and to use that to you know, ultimately, I mean, Earl did score the touchdown, but the collision was massive, you know. So in that situation, people who have solidarity, and I won't say black people don't have it at all. We do. But all we have to do is flick the switch. I guarantee you, if we flick the switch, power will instantly come. And that's what people, I think, many people are afraid of. You know, so, but you're right. Anybody who can get along and have some cohesiveness and some unified front, then they're going to have power. May not be as much as the majority power, but it's enough.
Right.
You know, and what they've done now is they've watered black people down enough that we're not even the second choice anymore. That's the Latino community. You know, we vote in such rare low numbers. But again, all we have to do is click, turn it on, and that's all they need to know.
Okay. My Detroit lawyer, is there, I want you to close this particular segment out. And I was dead ass serious. I know I'm probably froze, but I was dead ass serious about this. Jeffrey Herbsman is not a normal U.S. citizen. There's something afoot here. It smells like a Tom Clancy novel. I don't know if you guys are fans of Tom Clancy, but this is some Tom Clancy ass shit. I've read every book that Tom Clancy has put out. This is some motherfucking Black Hawk Down ass shit. So go ahead and say what you need to say, because I have several more topics that when I have the brilliant minds of both of you people, me and Underdog, we combined. We went to the 10th grade camp combined. We don't know nothing about this shit.
No, we don't.
Listen, for right now, I will leave it on this. The prosecutor's office put out a statement, and their statement was put out on August 3rd or August 4th. I have a comeback to that statement that's coming out on August 26th. They said something, and they said that he's getting out of prison on August 26th. I'm going to show them every reason why they're wrong, every reason why they lied, and every reason why I am not standing for that. They cannot tell lies to the public and think that that is okay. We are not just going to be satiated with the lies that they're giving. They could tell the truth, and then we can eat that, or they could tell lies, and then we're going to continue to put pressure on them, or at least I will. I don't know. So I'll leave it at that for now.
Having said that, there are a couple of more issues that I know time is valuable, so I'm going to try to make the most out of my opportunity to talk to both of you wonderful people. So we have a sister. Her name is Denita. She owns Barbecue Central, which is a barbecue restaurant located on the west side of Detroit. She has recently come under fire by members of the Albanian community, particularly a person who owns a Coney Island on 8 Mile, I believe, called V's Coney Island. And they questioned her, and they have been, in my mind, they've been attacking the sister. I want you guys to hear what she has said, and then we're gonna do some follow-up.
Quick, because it's just things that's going around, and somebody from Coney Island want to say something about being a hater. Ain't nothing hating over here. When I'm doing the same business that other Black businesses are doing, as far as soul food, barbecue, whatever the case is, you will never hear me say nothing bad about anybody else. I'm not in competition with anybody else. Actually, I tell them to go there if it's something I don't have that I know that they have that I don't have. But the thing it came about is, don't act like you're giving us something that we ain't already known about and been doing. We've been patting out burgers and putting it between two greasy sliced pieces of bread. Our mama was doing that back in the day. So this whole thing about like you're doing us some type of, no, we're doing y'all a favor, because y'all, that's why y'all come here. Y'all come here because we spend that bread. Y'all come and set up businesses in Detroit because we spend the money in Detroit. Nobody can't go to Oakland County, Macomb County, Shelby County, wherever, all these can't go. They come right here. They're very strategic. Me speaking on loving us ain't got nothing to do with hating on you. It's nothing wrong with me wanting our dollars that we spend and that we spend freely with other people for us to monetize on it. So if I'm a person that goes to this certain place all the time, there's no reason for me not to open that same business. Since I know that we like to eat certain things, then why don't we monetize it? That's all I'm saying. Why don't we create it for ourselves? But because I'm speaking on loving us and wanting to see us have more, that makes me a hater on anybody else. No, ain't nothing hating about it. They just don't want you to speak on loving yourself. People don't want you to love on your own people. And I love us. And I want to see us win for once, for twice, for whatever lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I want to see us fucking win. And if that means taking our money that we enjoy certain things and eating certain places, buying certain things, why don't we fucking create it? That's it. That's all. It ain't got nothing to do with hate. It's got more to do with loving on us. I love us. I love us. I'm gonna always be us. This ain't gonna change. But what has changed is that we don't dominate the dollar power because we're giving it away freely, right? And if we held it tighter in our hands like the black fist, then you can take them same dollars and pass that down to your grandkids, your kids, your grand. That's what I'm talking about. We're giving our money away for them to transfer that down generationally to their own, and we ain't leaving shit for ours. That's love. That ain't hate. I'm talking love, and ain't nobody gonna change that. And if you don't understand it, that's on you. Nobody ever understands when you start speaking up for yourself. Nobody ever understands when you start speaking about what's right and what's wrong with this world. Nobody ever understands when you talk about taking your dollar back from them. Then everybody's scared, and you're a hater. No, ain't no hate. It's just too much love in my heart for people that look like me. That's it. That's it.
Man, I love that lady.
One
I
more
don't even
thing.
know her.
One more thing. One more thing.
Hey, listen. I just want to say this because, as we all know, the adults who know, you know, I come from an era, I'm born in the 70s. You know, I'm 52 years old, and I've been raised with the saying from my elders, everything ain't for everybody. And what's for you may not be for me, and what's for me may not be for you. So I'm saying that to say Barbecue Central ain't for everybody. I didn't start a business for everybody. I started the business collectively for my kids and for my grandkids, something to pass down. And we are continuing to be better and better every year. 7 years this year, September 14th. And the love shows. I mean, you know, it's the elders who come and support. It's the elders who come and buy. It's the young generation as well, you know, that we're nurturing and feeding to. And the community in which I serve is beyond me having to post it on Instagram. A lot of the summer camps that most kids are in, they eat Barbecue Central. I sponsor collectively so many things that I don't do it for the gram. I don't do it for likes. I don't do it for the love. I do it because God has put it on my heart to do. To whom much is given, much is expected, right? I grew up in a time where I was supported by a community. I grew up in the Brewster Projects, and we had what was called the Brewster Old Timers. And they would bring us to places that our parents may or may not have been able to afford at the time. So the thing that I'm doing and pouring out is what was poured into me. All right. And there's the difference. You know, I live.
So listen, this lady, this woman, this entrepreneur, I think this is the perfect segue based on what we talked about, because we talked about understanding here. So I spoke to this young lady. Her name is Nita. She's the owner of Barbecue Central. She made a comment about nothing disparaging. She made a comment about how we support each other as a people. Detroit is still a predominantly Black and Latino city. It's still a predominantly Black and brown and yellow city. She came under fire by the owner of the Coney Island called V's. I believe it's on 8 Mile. This is a gentleman who has said something about me about when I question or I call to task the Albanian communities who by and large have owned the lion's share of Coney Islands in the city of Detroit. I did my research. There are more Coney Islands in the city of Detroit than there are McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, White Castles, Taco Bell's, Purchase Chicken, combined. There are over 200 Coney Islands inside the city limits, inside the perimeter of the city of Detroit. I say that 90% of their customer base are black. Black people, we like Coney Island. We go to Coney Island. And Coney Islands, they have a monopoly in a way that some and most restaurants don't have. Because most of the chain restaurants, they don't stay open 24 hours a day. They're not open when the club lets out on Friday, Thursday, Friday. Me and Miss Perk go to Floods. When we get out of Floods, when me and TP come out of Floods, ain't nothing open but Coney Island. We come out of Floods, and me and TP cut a rug in Floods.
But see, now being over 50, we shouldn't be eating after 10 o'clock anyway. So, just cut that out. But Dawgface, here's the thing though. Why is it that anything that's uniquely black has been turned, when you see it on a national scale, it becomes anti-American? It becomes something that is people turn their nose up at. What that should do, it should draw us to wanting to do more of that, because it's almost like voting. The more people don't want you to vote, the more you kind of recognize there's some reason why they don't want me to vote. So I need to go find out more about this. You know what I'm saying? And instead of, just lingering around and just, I used to work when I was in, before I went to law school, I used to work for the Democratic Party, and I used to be running around to different polls. I could see people who walk right by. I mean, and wouldn't come in all day. I mean, they walk by going to the corner store 3-4 times and just wouldn't do it. But we don't recognize our power. So this lady is clearly recognizing her power, and she's seeing the backlash from it. But that backlash should fuel everybody wanting to go to Barbecue Central. Everyone go on down there. I know we're on the Dawgface show and people got to pay for this kind of advertisement, but we're going to give it to this lady because clearly we need to support her. I go to Barbecue Central, even though I don't eat red meat or pork, but they got some great chicken. I definitely, I haven't getting on my black card. I eat the chicken. The yard bird is for sure, but they have great sides. I mean, it is a clean, nice, and something. The customer service is great. So I go there and I mess with them. So I suggest that we all take our asses down there, take our twos and fews. And if we spend our twos and fews, why is our community, here's one more thing, and I'm gonna let you go back. Our money stays in our community less than a couple of seconds. Now, I think the people who have mastered retaining money in the community is the Jewish community, where it stays in for a lot longer than any other culture. And that has an effect that grows power exponentially, financial influence, and just pure power. Like I said, 16 million people in the world, yet we understand the Jewish community's they're getting it in.
Miss, before you go on, listen. So I spoke to this young lady, and she was going back and forth with the owner of the V's Coney Island. And in my mind, the owner of V's Coney Island was being disrespectful. He's an Albanian guy, young guy. He talked, I've been in prison. I'm just like you guys, and blah, blah, blah. He's very challenging, disrespectful.
You can't say that. You just like us. You can't say that.
I wanted to ask.
Tell me they just like us. No.
I wanted to ask the question. Maybe I'm just catching up to this. In what way is she disputing with someone? Like, what is the dispute that she's having? She's doing her thing. She's got a business. She's doing her thing. What's the dispute? Like, who's mad at her for doing her thing? I'm what?
He is challenging her because he feels like that he is leading the way in the restaurant business when it comes to catering to black people. And here's the thing I want to say. So listen, she sent me all the back and forth on the post. Most of the people who are attacking her on the behalf of this guy.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Please don't say it.
Most of the people, I have the text messages. Most of the people who are attacking her, calling her a hater, even though she didn't say anything negative about V's Coney Island, most of the people who are attacking her are black people.
Yo, my question is this. On what basis is there even an attack to be had? This woman has a business. She's doing her thing. Whoever that dude is, he's got a business. He's doing whatever he's doing. What is the, just because they're both in the restaurant industry? Like, that's the attack there? Like, why? He's mad. He got people he could serve. People are coming to his restaurant. He should serve those people. People are coming to her restaurant. She's serving those people. Why is there? I don't even understand how this is even a thing. Like, and then he's saying I serve more black people. Like, sir, what the? Yo, man, I don't get a lot of shit.
Hey, it had to be.
Here's the thing.
It had to be. It
Go
had to
ahead.
be a thing where, just the way that her business may be evolving, and he felt threatened by it.
Man, everyone
but it's
threatened by everyone's thing. Just get on your game, stay on your shit. Like, mind your fucking business, stay in your lane. Why are you mad at this lady? Let her get her money.
It's interesting that before y'all sent me the link, I was watching Django, and then Steven was on there. You know, there's so many Stevens in the world, and you know that's been our thing. You know, hey, it's either Mr. Charlie or Miss Ann. You know, we worship and honor both of them. You know, so I don't get it. You know, but like I said, I knew that's why I got up and walked away when you said most of the people who were chastising her, or you know,
yes,
like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It's always our own people, but it's actually it's a part that's programmed into us, right?
Right.
And whenever you got something that's programmed into you that is not productive, then that's a cycle that needs to be broken. And we have not came up with the tools. Well, the tools are out there. We don't use the tools to break the cycles. Because if we break that cycle, then we turn back within, which is self, and self is black. You know what I mean? So I feel like, we ain't gonna never have that because, like, our people are already they in a damaged state. So if you drop glass, it depends on how hard you drop it, is what's going to determine how many pieces is broke. Or a vase. Sometimes you can drop a vase and the corner of it chip off. Okay, we can glue that back on. That's a simple fix. But we have been damaged to a point to where our fix is not simple. Our fix is not simple. And this is what you can always expect from black people. And I feel like it may be sad that I say this shit, but if you gonna have any kind of motherfucking plan, you can have that motherfucker black proof. Like we fighting everybody. We fighting self. And we fight everybody else that's united, and we are the majority.
But like I said, all you have to do, it takes just one, and once
easier
the
said than
domino
done,
effect
Mr.
happens,
Todd. That's easier
we're
said than
on.
done. Wait, do
I
you know
know.
that we could have did this a million years ago and been on top? That's the
But we
hard
can't
part
worry
right
about the
there.
past.
That's
We
the
got to
hard
look
part
forward.
though.
Huh?
That click right there, that is the hard part. How do we get there?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that recognizing that I don't know what the crescendo or the aha moment is that's going to spur that click to happen. But it's just, my wife talks about it all the time, even with my own development, that you're right there on the precipice of something that is great. And I think that even black people know that. My younger brother, the one that's a judge, my younger brother says this. He said, the world is run through the eye of the black man. And that includes style, how people talk, how people walk, how people do anything. And in our community, really, even though we have all that, in our community, historically, it's the woman that's upheld us. But now you got this separation because it's now in a sense that we're so disconnected. With the family structure, I always say that. Why did we have a welfare system that didn't allow a man into the home? Why did we have, in 1907, I always use this statistic, we had more black families that were married, more black people were married than white people on a percentage basis. And that was one of the things that were key to the fueling of growth and the civil rights movement. Even though I have my own thoughts about the civil rights movement, but it caused those things to happen because we were cohesive. Now we're not so much.
You know, and I agree with you, right? Like a part of breaking the cycle is like we have to start reproducing and giving birth to living examples. So, you know, a living example is what? A living example is actually black people going to Barbecue Central even more so now than they was in the beginning. Like if you haven't tried it, now you got a reason to try it. You know what I mean? So
And it's great.
to
And I'm
me,
telling you, I can give them a plug, a shameless plug. It's great. It is a great place.
yeah, you know, breaking that cycle is being a living example. If you living, we have to be able to reproduce a living example. So that's like somebody that's close to us, you know. And at the end of the day, for real, you know, I always start in my house, like, you know, my son got to be that, you know, or he got a problem with me because me looking at him not trying to be a living example is me looking at a nigga that's gonna possibly be opposition.
You
Because
say
if
that
he ain't
again.
trying
I
to be a
couldn't hear
living,
you.
I say I always try to tell my son that he has to be a living example, right?
Right.
Because if he's not a living example, then he's opposition. He's one of them niggas that I don't fuck with. I don't get along with niggas like that. You know what I mean? So he has to be a living example. He
Right.
has to be a living example because that's what's going to change it. You know, and if and who's to say when as he grow into an adult, what kind of influence he's going to be as a living example? That's how you reproduce it. That's how you reproduce it. Like all his friends are living examples. That's us helping this that we got. This ease that we got.
So listen, let me be a little bit more direct than that. For all you niggas, hey, listen, there's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong. I know that y'all never had no big homies. I know y'all ain't had no OGs, no daddies, no uncles. Your mama out at going to 350 Terrace right now, ready to shake it like her mama gave her, right? I know your mama, your grandmama, and your daughter all in the same club. One of them is 52, the other one's 38, and the other one is 18, who snuck in. You know how they be. You know what I'm saying? You think enough, you can get in out no ID, right? Hey, listen, there's no way that black people, even in the event where there's a dispute, I'm not telling you have to take, but there's no way, there's absolutely no way that black people, black men especially, are supposed to be allowing this sister to be talked to in any kind of way at all. Miss Danita Ramsey is in the building. How you doing, ma'am? The
Hey,
owner
how's it
of
going?
BQ Central is in the building. How you doing, bro?
Hey, Todd. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Gotta get my glasses. Hold on a second.
Yo, hey, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Thank you. I was trying to. I was having a hard time getting logged on here. So, okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
I got you. So listen, I want to introduce you to. I don't know if you know Mr. Perkins.
I know Todd. Hey,
And,
Todd.
and
Yeah, we know each other.
This is
I've been
Pete.
giving you a
Todd knows.
shameless plug too all day.
Right.
Who
This
else?
is Pete. My Detroit lawyer is in the building. We call her
Yes.
P.
Hi.
She's in the building. Underdog,
Hello, baby.
who's my co-host, he's in the building. And where you are the subject. You are the topic of the matter.
Okay.
Can you tell us how this dispute started? And can you tell us what precipitated it? Because people are in the chat are confused about what's going on here.
It it wasn't anything directed to them. I think I just became the easier target to say something to. So, it's always this thing on social media where everybody's saying something, and it was just targeted to me over a burger as far as prices were concerned. And I'm like, we don't sell the same thing. So we're not even going to go there. Coney Island does not compare to Barbecue Central. And so it just kind of kept going, and the badgering just kept going. And then it just kind of got elevated to a little disrespect, because again, he ended up saying something in regards to like 80% of Black people in Detroit don't support their own. And I'm like, where did you get that number from? So I took a screenshot of it and put it on there. I said, okay, so this is what they think about us. As we continue to try to build our own, it becomes hate. Then it started pouring out when I said, me loving on us doesn't hate on you. So then it became a racist thing. Like, I'm like, how could black people be racist? What power do I have to be racist towards anybody? Right. So it's just, they love to go back and forth with the women, obviously, because of how they got us working in their little Coney Islands. They feel as if because how they talk to them, they can talk to everybody like that. And I'm just trying to get them to understand I'm not her. I'm a business owner. I'm a Detroit resident, been here, try to explain that in the nicest way, but then it kind of became like really badgering. I don't go back and forth on social media with people. People know me and they know my business. And if anything is wrong there, I fix it, but it has been this thing about, for me, like I said to anybody, this is not because I'm in the restaurant business and Todd knows that this is who I am. This is who I am as a Black woman. I do believe in us and loving on us to do better and build more for ourselves, for our own community, because they're here off of our backs, and they go back and you see all of the other entities and how their cities look versus how we're looking, and they're taking all that back. And that's really what I was saying when it came down to it. And then that became a whole nother thing. So it's just the disrespect that they have to us, especially women, Black women. And it went all around from the person he should have been talking to me for
Can I
some
ask
reason,
a
because I'm in the restaurant business too, but we're not in the same business regardless. So
Can I ask a question just to clarify something?
yeah.
So this dude that this guy that has a Coney Island,
Yeah.
he's mad at you because you have a restaurant that's not a Coney Island, but your
Yeah.
restaurant's prices are higher than what he charges for burgers, and he's mad at
Yeah.
you for that somehow?
Yeah, he was making it like after as he went on, like y'all went to your menu and you talking about uplifting your community when you're gouging and
Or
basically
you went to
charging them
my
more.
menu and you're in Coney Island. You basically are charging Coney Island prices. Get off of my page with your
Yeah.
beer budget when I'm over here with champagne. What are you talking about? How
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
man mad at
I'm like, it
weird?
just went very weird. And just, I think he's a new business too in Detroit, like 2 years maybe in over there on 8 Mile. When I did a little research, I didn't know much about him anyway, didn't need to know. But I said, well, let me just see. 2 years in, just, it's like, I like this guy has a beef even with his own competitors as far as other Coney Islands, it seems like. I mean, like, it's just, it's like these young kids, they get on social media and because they got a big following, they start like doing the bullying and the haggling and just of everybody who's around, I guess, and somehow just being on included in that at like, Barbecue Central has fresh burgers, and when it added me in it, I'm like, yeah, we do pat burgers out too. We've been patting burgers out since we've been kids, with them between two pieces of sloppy greasy bread. So that's where it all kind of blew out from. Like, it was a tag and saying, you're not the only one doing fresh, but this place do it. And I'm like, well, we're not the same. And it just kind of went from there. And it was like a snowball effect. He just went in and kept going in. I'm like, okay, here we go. So let me just let you know who I am as a Black woman. And I don't tolerate that type of disrespect. I don't even know you, kid. And he's a young kid. He's like a little young Albanian hothead. But
It's ridiculous that this man was even so upset about you. But you know what? That just lets you know that you're doing something right because someone was upset about it. Like, sir, why you mad about what I'm doing? Be over there doing what you're doing. But okay, fine.
But that's all of them, like what was the last thing we did? 313. Now, I'm on 7 Mile next to Kennedy Liquor Store. So, we did 313. Detroit, we celebrate stuff like that. And just to show you again the level of disrespect as an owner to an owner, I had 313 day, went on 105.9. Angie Star, we did a whole thing over there. So the customers were excited. They parked over in the parking lot, next to which is Kennedy's parking lot. But the traffic was going so fast, it's never an issue. And, he comes over. Well, he didn't come over. The police comes over and says, the owner says, I had a lobby full of people, lobby full of elders, because that's who listens on 105.9. He got my whole lobby in a panic and telling them he called the police and said, we're going to start towing cars if you guys don't move. He don't want you in his lot. And I'm like, wow, like, this. So I gave it a couple days and I went over and I said to him, like, you can always talk to me. You didn't have to create like that whole fury of people getting all panicky about towing people's vehicles. I'm like, my thing is like, I'm like, you're a visitor here. And while we've been here, Don't care. You are a visitor, as far as I'm concerned. You don't do that. We're all in this thing together. But it's just that right there. Like the that was disrespectful to me. Like, why would you, as long as I've been here, you've been here, I've been here 7 years, you've been however long you've been here. Why would you call the police instead of coming over here showing me the same respect that I would have shown you to come over and say, hey, Danita, do you mind? Or maybe my deliveries can't get through. I don't know what the case was, but when I tell you traffic at Barbecue Central being a carryout, they're in and out. They're in and out. It's
They
not
don't
a
have
whole thing.
So this is the sorry, I'm full of questions. I'm a questiony person. So this is a person who has a store next to your business.
Yep, Barbecue Central's right next door
Well,
to
doesn't
Kennedy
that
Liquor
bring
Store.
him business? Don't people want to eat some barbecue and then get some liquor? Doesn't that bring him traffic? If people are coming to see you, won't they just stumble upon him too? That's good business for him.
That's what I thought. We're neighbors. I said, let's be neighborly. But at the same time, it's this thing of like, they want it all. They want it all. And if they see you doing anything, it's kind of like, oh no, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm thinking like, why would you ever do that? And he went into this whole thing like, well, they were parking in my lot and it was just my customers can't get. I'm like, you don't even have a drivable customer. The guys that hang around here, no pun intended, they walk this beat. You got the people that hang and loiter all day.
Listen, my customers have just become your customers today, sir. Have fun. Go sit down. Enjoy.
Sit down. Yeah. So it's just that's what it is right now. And I guess people just thinking they own this city. They own everything in it. And I guess we become the visitors in our own city. I don't know. Like I can't. I don't know.
You're in our own city. I don't know. Like I can't. I don't know.
Hey, Danita, I got a question.
Yeah.
So like I know that just we as a people, right? Like we great at talking about the problem. I can hear your level of intelligence just reeking through the whole platform here. What is your what are you doing to remedy this?
Well, the most that
or do you change up some things? Like what do you do to remedy this?
The most that I'm doing right now is I don't use social media as I should, like in the platform we're talking about as much, but I'm really kind of more invested in the elders of Detroit. That's where my business is at. And the district I'm in, unfortunately, I'm in District 2, which does not recognize a lot. I don't get a lot of information. I'm more involved with like District 6 with the elderlies over there by Rosa Park in that area where Williams Center is. So the only thing I'm doing right now I can say is pouring and giving back. And I give a lot of food to the elders and to the kids. I'm covering pretty much 3 to 4 summer camps every summer, giving food. There's my give back. It's not a lot that I can do, I feel like sometimes with us, because some of us, even with what was going on between me and this guy, were on there kind of like saying something to me. And I'm like, when did we start loving on our oppressors so much? Like you talking to people and they really kind of against you. Just kind of, I didn't get logged in until just now you guys could see, but I was listening to the guy in the gray saying that we're the problem. So where do you really start? Like how do you begin to pull people together when they really don't know who they are first? When you're doing something a little different, and it's like you said, like, well, you think you better. I don't know. It's just we're so against each other. So how do we even bring that? I have no clue. I don't know where to start. I just kind of keep the people who come in Barbecue Central encouraged because I'm always in there sun up to sundown. And those are just my people. They know they've been kind of rallying with me. They've been down with me for 7 years, and you come in there, you see the wall and what I have up there. I'm Angela Davis, Malcolm. I am who I am. The wall in there speaks for itself, even from a kid from the Brewster Projects. I grew up in the projects, and what I'm doing is pouring back into how the Brewster old timers poured into me. So it's that thing. That's the part for me that I can only do, and I'm trying to kind of build off of that and get the momentum going, people around me. But it's been hard. It's been hard because the table, you got the cheers, you got the table, but nobody wants to have a seat and like kind of come together and discuss it, on what to do, I guess.
Well, I guess that's my cue. So listen, the fact that you got niggas,
what happened here?
The fact that you got niggas,
Can't hear.
You can't hear me?
Hold on a second.
Can't hear me.
I hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
I can't hear him.
You can't
You
hear
probably
me?
got to leave and come back, Doc.
Okay, let me show. I'm gonna come back in.
I can't hear either.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear everybody. I'm not sure.
I can't. Neither can you hear Dawgface?
Can you hear me?
Anita can't either. Anita, can you hear Dawgface?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Anita,
me?
can you hear Dawgface? She has to leave and come back.
So listen. So okay, I got you. It's cool. So listen. So listen. Hopefully they rejoin us. But let me say this: as minorities, I don't care what we are. I don't care if you're Indian, Arab, Asian, whatever it is. Let me tell you something, man, about this country. This country will chew you up and spit you out. In this country, they consider it an advantage to have the so-called minorities at each other's throats. When you see turmoil, when you see Anita Ramsey, Anita Ramsey is back. Can you hear me, Miss Ramsey?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I got you. So I was finna go into my little thing. You know, I'll be on my little thing, right? So listen. To whose advantage is it to see black and brown people at each other's throats in this country? Right? There is a system that has been put in place, and there's an ideology that is being championed by people whose best interest is to see us divided and at each other's throats. And for the life of me, I don't understand. If you're Indian, you're Latino, you're Asian, whatever you are, there are people who don't like none of us. They don't give a fuck.
But it goes deeper than that. They don't like Black Americans. The African don't like a Black American.
That's
you know,
true.
it's clear. I mean, this is a fight that's so insidious that's been going on. I mean, we could talk about historically. I mean, you know, all we have to go back 70, 80 years and talk about the Tuskegee Project. I mean, they have always considered us less than human, less than equal to them. I mean, we were 2/5 or 3/5, whatever. And you know, so that permeates today. You know, and what the derision and the divide allows them. The divide and conquer theory is what's really at play. So I'm telling you know, like I tell you what, I hadn't been up there in about a couple of months, but I guarantee you I'll be there tomorrow, just in solidarity. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's it is, you know, just only reason I'm gonna have to call mine in because y'all be packed. You know.
No problem to have.
But you know, I get you in and out, Ty. All you gotta do is call me, and your stuff will be ready.
But I ain't gonna
at the
step
door.
ahead. I'm gonna wait my turn. But I like talking to people. You know, I get business when I'm in line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are listen. Those are the customers. I don't know if you heard me at the end. I was just kind of saying I really don't know what to do aside from what I'm doing right now is pouring back into the kids and the elders. That's kind of what I've been sponsoring for the last few years with meals for the elderly in District 6, I think that is. And then I do all the summer camps, just about most of them, for the kids to feed back, to give food. I mean, that's my part. I would love to kind of have that solidarity you're talking about. We can pull together and get everybody at the table on board with this thing, but then it's hard to do that within the city. Because I told you once already, it's like you're in love with a city that's not in love with you. They're doing everything is happening around us, but not for us. And it's some of us that's still actively doing what we're doing, like me, coming born and raised in the Brewsters. I'm trying to build something off of that, but it's really, really hard with the city, with how everything is kind of being dispersed to who it's being dispersed to.
But it's coming. It's coming. Nothing. You know, when you say what are you gonna do, you just keep on doing what you've been doing. And look,
Yeah.
I mean, you even have Black people giving great customer service. they do. I mean,
Well, I'm always there.
You
know,
know,
that's one of
it
the
helps,
things
because
I
you're
take
around and-
pride in. I mean, I don't
No,
know
but
who
it's
said that becoming a business
man,
owner, you're gonna
y'all
be
doing
sitting
your
on
thing.
your feet with on your butt with your feet kicked up. No, I think I work harder than I worked when I was at DT Energy. It's like maybe I'll go back to the desk job.
The thing is, you working that you put in that work for your stuff, not their stuff. Everybody going Dawgface?
No, you coming back?
Okay.
I don't know.
My Detroit lawyer, are you tired? Like you're a little tired? So you gotta be at work tomorrow morning?
No, I'm good.
You want me to let you go? What you trying to do?
I'm here still. I'm just.
Hey, listen. So when it comes to listen. So from a legal perspective, right? When it comes to Detroit being still a predominantly dark city, I'll say it's a dark city, right? What are some of the problems that from your expertise? What are some of the problems that you see when it comes to black and brown people in terms of us not sticking together and standing together while everybody else comes here and takes advantage of all things Detroit?
I mean, on a legal perspective, I'm the type of person that looks at shit like in other cities. Like I look at Karen Reed. I look at how all those people sit together. I look at the shit that we have going on here. Nobody fucking comes together. There were so many times where I've reached out to people and asked them to get together and do shit, and it just doesn't happen in this city. People are more obsessed about promoting parties and just stupid shit in my mind that doesn't progress us as a society. But whatever. I see everyone's joining back, so let me shut the fuck up. Like that's just my perspective.
No. You know, I feel like, you know, we have to find a way to like change the current, you know, like I don't know like her hours. I don't even know what her goal is for her business. It seems like it has a lot of like charity in it, where she wanted to give to the people. But you can give so much to where you ain't got shit to give. So you got to be careful when you're giving. You know what I mean? So like one lady on here, I forgot who she was, but she said that I don't eat nothing but fruit and vegetables. She said, but I'll be there tomorrow. See, that's that living example I'm talking about. Because she already let you know, I'm not gonna eat the food. I'm gonna support this lady. My nephew might eat this food, you know. And that's the living example that no, it ain't just Detroit, but uh that's the living example that has to start congealing and reproducing, or we're not gonna be able to change the current, you know. And I feel like for real, with Detroit being so black and so dark, it could be one of the hardest places to change. You know, I think for real, you know, and I don't like to really even say it, but a lot of our boost is going to come from that which is diversified. Like we can't be starting no business all black, 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 black. Like we gotta have some kind of diversity just because of how normal and how accustomed we is to going against each other. Like we have to break that, and we can't break it going all black because I'm thinking when we show up all black, you know, we're stimulating people, and that's a target. So it's a, you know, all we can do is be a living example. Now that you're here, what is your goal for your company? Do you feel like you're meeting your goal, or do you feel
Oh
like
yeah, I'm meeting my goal. I mean, I had 4 locations. I came down to 1 just this year, right? And that was based on the employment and people just wasn't working. So Barbecue Central does very well in the community. I was in Inkster, I was in Oak Park, and then I was over at Twite 2 in Detroit. So the next thing for me really is to franchise. I think that I got a good system, kind of putting systems in place to be able, this thing should be able to go past Detroit, past
like
Michigan. I mean, like out of state in a sense, so that's really the next level for me is
yeah, I
now
like
that
that.
I've got it streamlined, I'm down to 1 location, which makes more sense for me here. We got a lot of people here in the city just stopped working or left the city. I don't know what happened, but it became really hard for me to manage 4 restaurants and trying to be at one place, every place in one. You can't do it. So having the 1 location now, I was able to pull my systems together, get more quality instead of quantity of everything. And we just been banging out. I'm the only beef rib. I'm the only barbecue place in Detroit does beef ribs. So I put on that because we do have a big community of people who don't eat pork, and nobody was kind of tapping into that, with Uptown, Nuns, Vicky's, Parks. I pay homage to all those places because I grew up on Young's barbecue that was on Shane and Gratiot because that was closest to the projects, but I'm just trying to trailblaze, take what was given to me and make it work for my family, for my kids, for my grandkids, So
So
we're
basically,
doing well. We're doing well.
Mhm.
It's just like I said, it's the other part of it with the city and the grants and the Motor City Match, the things that I don't get. I did a $300,000 build out in my restaurant by myself, with where I am now, and no help from the city. That's the biggest struggle for me right now. So
So you think those 4 locations you was kind of like spreading yourself thin, where you just focus on
um
that one now, and it's like a powerhouse.
You know what it was? It was you try to meet the demand of the people because everybody wants you to be everywhere. You got a good thing, right? Say like you should come over here. You should come over here. You should come over here. And I let that get the best of me. We were right in the middle of the pandemic too. So the opportunities were there because restaurants carry out was the main thing and a lot of places were closing because it was sit down, remember? So I kind of took full advantage of that, but at the same time, it was too much too fast just for me because I want things to be almost close. It's no perfect, but I want it to be as perfect as it can. And it was hard doing that with 4 different places, so many different employees. Nobody wants to listen. I could. It was stressful, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Let me just control what I can. That's one. The original place was 7 Mile already to begin with, so I'm always gonna be on 7 Mile. Where I started, well, I'll end.
So
Yeah.
I like that
So
that franchise because that'll help you enjoy the location on 7 Mile even more if you can get a franchise because you know I,
you want to
I'm
get into the
originally from
restaurant business? You can go ahead and franchise.
hey for real hey, but I'll tell you this though, right? Places like your location would do numbers in places where it's diversified at
Yeah.
because people like black people that like niggas don't be respecting shit like they supposed to. But man, when they diverse and they see that barbecue,
Yeah.
man, they come to check it out. That's just what they do. Like I was in Ohio for like at least 15 years, right? I still
Hmm.
hate that place. That place is so full of shit. But I'll tell you this though, right?
Hmm.
They love black people food.
Yeah.
They love black people food because there ain't a lot of black people in there cooking black people food.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So how you say
I got some customers
like
from Ohio that comes. They come here for Karmelo,
man,
and they stop in
man,
at Barbecue Central on their way back to Ohio. It's coming for treatment for something. I can't remember what it is, but they always stop at
yeah,
Barbecue Central. So
yeah. If you ain't got a food truck in Columbus, Ohio, you ain't nobody.
mm,
Man, they love black people food.
So let me say this, right? And I know you're on vacation. I'm a little bit jealous. I might have to start player hating on you because how
no,
dare you call
how
me
dare I?
a
How dare I
pastor?
go somewhere when I ain't been nowhere in
All
2 years?
right.
Really?
Yes, that part. I don't give a damn. So listen, Barbecue Central. Can you give the address out for us, Miss
Yes.
Meech?
Yep, it's 13300 West 7 Mile. I'm between Outer Drive and Schaefer. I'm right on the corner of Littlefield.
Hey,
So that's
listen.
13300 West 7 Mile between Outer Drive and Schaefer. So you know what Greater Emmanuel is, used to be
Yes,
Greater Grace. I'm right down the street. Before you get to them, I'm right there.
gotcha. So before you go, I want to say this for
Yeah.
all you niggas who was jumping on this cocksucking ass motherfucker side, trying to say something negative about this sister, motherfucker, and motherfucker who had you. Barbecue Central. It is not just barbecue, it is soul food. It is the highest level. If Todd Perkins says go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I come back to Detroit, I'm gonna stand in line, even though I'm a rock star.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna stand
listen,
in line.
don't come on Labor Day because that's when the line will be wrapped around the corner. I
Oh,
am I am one of the only places open on holidays. Every holiday. My holiday is the day after the holiday. So we stay open for
that's great.
those. Yeah. And that line be rocking.
So this is what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
Me, Todd Perkins, Detroit lawyer, Pete, we all gonna come up there together and we're gonna
Come on
enjoy
with
it.
it.
We're gonna come up there together and we're gonna take pictures and we're gonna have
Yeah.
a time. A time will be had.
A time will be had at Barbecue Central. Let's do it.
Miss Danita Ramsey, I want to thank you for your time. For everybody
Thank
in the
you.
city of Detroit, if you're seeing this now or if you see it later, we have to protect each other. And for the black men, this is for black men. Stop acting like bitch ass niggas.
You
Stop acting.
said it.
Listen, there's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong. You can
Yeah.
disagree with somebody
Yeah.
without giving up your black card in order to do it. A lot of you niggas have been so successfully trained like monkeys in the zoo. Stop acting like that, bro. It's the reason why black women have trust issues with us as men because we fail to be the protectors that God intended us to be.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. Hey, Barbecue Central, I will be there on my mommy. I call her mommy. You know, I'm spoiled. I'm a Cancer. I'm the youngest of 4 boys. On my mommy, I'm coming to Barbecue Sister. Thank you, sister. One more time, the address. One more time.
13300 West 7 Mile. Out of Driver Schaefer. Let's go.
13300 West 7 Mile. West up. You know, I'm an East Sider. I'm throwing up the West for this. This is a shameless plug of barbecue.
Well, originally I'm an East Sider too, from where I'm from. So that's kind of east. You know?
Clutch is pearls.
Well, no, the Brewster Projects is considered east.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Flag, Little Flag, Bobby Boat, Lawrence, KK. I was in the Brewsters. I broke out the youth home in '85.
Okay.
And my homeboy Ant was from Highland Park, but his whole family from the Brewsters, the big Brewsters and little Brewsters. You hear me?
That's right.
So we was down there with
born and raised. That's it. That's all I know.
Hey, Nita, remember they used to have the police in the little vans on the pole, trying to tap the little pole and shit.
You might be a little older than me.
Yeah, I'm over here. Well, I'm still crack hair on.
He still got excited about that part of the game, boy. He got excited about that.
Okay, you might be a little older than me on that one.
Hey, listen.
Nita, so thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, man. Have a nice night. Enjoy your vacation. Barbecue Central, 13300 West 7 Mile. Get there. Thank you, my sister.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, got you. The lawyer for Detroit. How many awards have you won, P? For services rendered?
0.
0? How? We're gonna have to.
Listen, I don't be a part of all these, like, the people be doing award ceremonies, this, that, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I don't be a part of any of that. I do my job. I come home. That's the next day. That's all I do. I'm not to be like, I don't know anyone. I don't do anything. I just do my job and I come home. That's it.
Hey, listen, when we come, me, you, and TP, we're going to come together and we're going to go to Barbecue Central. We're going to get us some of that barbecue. That's what we're going to do.
All right.
So listen, I want to have you back. I want to extend the invitation here and now. I'm going to front you off. So excuse me. I want to extend the invitation to make you a part, because there are legal matters that have to be considered. And I'm going to put you on the spot because I need you back here tomorrow night because we're going to get into some criminal law. I want to send you some things and have you review these things. And I need to have you back tomorrow. Can I get you back here tomorrow at 8 p.m.?
What is tomorrow? What is today? Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is
Friday.
Yeah, I could probably do it 8 p.m. I can't guarantee it. Let me check because I got a lot of things happening with my parents right now, but I'll double check with you. I'm probably like 70% can do it. I just got to double check.
Listen, let's stay in touch.
Call. They have bad health. Like there's a lot happening.
I got you. Because God bless the parents. They created a beautiful daughter who's courageous and a lioness. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining us.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you so much. I really do.
Thank you.
All right, P.
Hey, listen. Do we get into this whole Big Meech Wack 100 thing right now, or do we save that for tomorrow?
I think tomorrow will be a good day. Only reason why I think tomorrow will be a good day because we'll have that lawyer insight to go off our hood shit, bro.
I got you. So listen, everybody. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We're covering all things Big Meech, Deion Cuffy Gatlin, Wack 100 with his bitch ass. Be here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going over this shit. We're going to get some straightening about this shit. Underdog, tell them your Instagram, tell them your YouTube channel, what they need to do.
Hey, y'all got to tap in on that on my Instagram. My Instagram is underdog TV _ podcast. My YouTube is where I need y'all to share, like, and subscribe, and that's gonna be Underdog TV. So y'all check in on that, man. Support your boy. I I got to get at least 50 subscribers so I can go live and start sharing my content. I appreciate y'all though.
Hey, listen, man. My name is Dawgface Calderon. We're 2 hours and 14 minutes in. I appreciate y'all coming out, stepping out. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming back. Hey, listen, spread the word. We're coming back, and the conversation will be Wack 100, Wackesha, and Demetria. That's what I call Big Meech. It's not Demetrius, it's Demetria. Tomorrow, we're going to make a motherfucking movie. Y'all know what it is. Sugar, sugar, salt, and salt. If you didn't get out today, bitch,